dared not bring an accusation against him, reviling him or accusing him, but just said, the Lord rebuke you. Now here's a battle going on between the two evil powers, high up on the power level, I guess you'd say, with Michael and Satan. And Michael says nothing, being an archangel, even though Satan is Satan. Just says the Lord rebuke you. But what's happening here is so interesting to me that it tells us way back when Moses was up on that mountain watching the Israelites crossing over into the promised land. Eventually he died. As his body laid there, God sent Michael to go get him. And Satan's there. He's mine. And there was a dispute over who got him. You can imagine who won. But what boldness to think he had the audacity to come in and claim one of God's servants after God chose not to do that to him. Last, I guess the deadliest is that Satan wants our souls. And tying in with that, he'll offer you anything that you'd like as a dealing power in that whole thing. Matthew 16, Jesus says, what does it profit a man if he gains, and it says the whole world, what's your temptation? I don't know. What does it profit us if we gain whatever it is and lose our soul? And then, as I mentioned in class this morning about a verse that I know I've mentioned a few times here, passage from Luke 22. And I have had somewhere tucked away in my Bible a little gift. And it's slid out of it. A seed that I pulled out of an apple this afternoon. My intentions were to hold it up and just crush the seed in my fingers, which, it's not that significant. It's just a seed. If I had it here and I was just smashing, you look at it and go, okay, it's a seed. Big deal. I could put it down on the floor here and mash it, step on it, mash it in real good. No big deal. But think about what Satan says, what Jesus says about Satan in Matthew 22. When he says, Simon, Satan's asked to sift you out like wheat. That's Satan's view of how valuable you really are. You're just a grain of wheat. He just soon throw you on the ground and step on it. He doesn't care about you. He'll act like it. He'll lie to you like it. He'll present every cause out there to make you think you're his friend and he's your buddy. And he's here to give you whatever's the best what God's denied. But in the end, you're nothing more than a piece of grass. A seed out there that's not worth anything except to be just sifted out. And that's Satan. How incredible he is. How powerful he is. How tricky he is. No Satan. And when you meet him, say, no Satan. Not today. Not me. James writes, flee the devil. Rather, resist the devil, and he'll flee from you. There are other passages that do talk about fleeing temptation, fleeing fornication. And descriptions that are out there, countless things, because sometimes resisting Satan is just so incredible, we've just got to turn around and walk out. But you know his power. You know his temptations. He knows your weaknesses. Understand Satan and what he'll do to bring you down. On the other side, when we think about what God has done, he also knows Satan. He knows how tricky he was and what he planned to do since the very beginning of the world. God also knows our conditions, and in that whole process, God planned before the foundation of the world to get us back with him. Because he knew that at one point in life, when we were old enough, we would choose to say no to God and yes to Satan. Just as stupidly as he did. and decide that what Satan was offering was better, and put ourselves first. And when we did, it was sin. But God offered a sacrifice through His Son. The perfect sacrifice for our sins. Isaiah 53 describes it like He was bruised for our transgressions. By His stripes we were healed. That was a prophetic message. God foreseeing it happening back hundreds of years before Jesus ever came on this earth. Put that picture out there to understand how much He loves us and how His plan had always been there to get us back. Satan's goal is to divide you and from your God. Jesus' goal is to get you back to Him. Say no to Satan and yes to Jesus. If you're not a Christian tonight, would you think about coming and being baptized in Christ and having your sin washed away and say yes to Jesus? And if you'd like to do that tonight, we're here. If you're ready to make that step, while we sing.